Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. I've been gone for about a month. I've been down in California caring for my mom after surgery. Now I'm back. I brought my mom back with me actually. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to continue working on a book that I started working on back down there. The theme of this one is seahorses. Seahorses have a very special meaning. There's a little seahorse for someone that's very special to me. So this person, they had stomach surgery. They had stomach cancer, and they actually had their stomach removed. And seahorses apparently don't have stomachs, and so it's become like the mascot of people that have had their stomach removed, so they don't have stomachs. And so I'm making this book for this very special person. So this is what I've got so far done on it. And this is where I'm at right now, what I want to do. I want to put the spine together. So when I was down there, I didn't have any fabric, but I did have this ribbon. This ribbon that came around like a blanket. You know how you have blankets and they're tied up? Well, that's what this was from. And so I tried using this to sew my spine onto. Now the one thing with it though, I used Fabri-Tac glue, and the glue, surprisingly, it became like really stiff and hard on it. I was expecting it actually to be a little bit more supple than that. No big deal. That is just a reality. Something worth mentioning in case you want to try it. So I need to decide which side I want up and which side I want down on this one. I guess it doesn't really matter. They kind of look the same. I'm going to go this way. And so what I'm going to do right now, I want to turn this down, and I'm going to secure it back here. I probably don't need quite as much. I'm going to trim off just a little bit. And I'm just going to use my glue gun right here. Got my glue gun back. Now that I'm home, it was weird being without all my supplies. You know, but I was just so busy and just so many things on my mind that it was really hard for me to be creative. Just was stuck. Just didn't want to do a lot. So I did work on this book though, and had fun doing that. It was fun buying. I probably did more buying than anything else down there. Like when I was at the hospital, I'd go down to the gift shop and see what they had. Like one of the things I got was this set, this napkin set. Isn't that darling? Little bunnies. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I'll have a blast using those. And then one of the things I also bought were these napkins. These were just from the dollar store. And some of these things, they have the seahorses on them, and that's how it all began. So I'm gonna glue that down. I am gonna use my Fabri-Tac along the edges though when I secure it to this. Initially I painted this wanting it to be with grit, but it actually ended up being really quite smooth. It just was not what I expected it to be. So I'm going to glue all these areas secured down, kind of making this up as I go. This is the first time I've really crafted, I mean just really crafted, in over a month, and so it's just weird doing it again and just kind of remembering everything, where my things are, how to use them, the strings that come off my glue gun, all those things. Alright, so now I want this up a little bit from each edge. I don't know if you can see that. I've got maybe, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, something in between that, up from each edge. And so I want to glue down each side. Oh my gosh, this has been sitting in my button box, my button bowl, and it apparently had a little problem while I was gone. So let's hope there's glue still in there. Okay, so I'm gonna put a nice little amount on both sides here to hold it down, and then I'm gonna secure it on both sides while it dries. I was looking all over in California to find the one. I know a lot of people say there isn't any difference between the Fabri-Tac and the 321 and stuff, but I think some of them, they smell differently. Some of them are stronger in how they smell. Anyway, that's my opinion. And I try to keep my brain not exposed as much as I can. You know, keep those brain cells. Okay, so I want to press this down. Make sure it's secure on both sides. And then I'm going to take clips. I think I'll clip this first. Yeah, that worked out nice. So I'm pressing it down, and I'm going to place clips on both sides. Right there, and then the other side to keep it nice and sturdy while it dries. Oh, this one. Let's see. Probably I should have done one at a time. But you know, when you haven't done something in a while, you're just eager, right? Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Maybe get my heat gun out and then come back to it. Alright, that feels pretty good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just close this one in the back, and then I'm going to make this front part a pocket. I'm going to trim it, and I'm going to place some paper inside there. Before I do that though, this is made just out of a file folder, and I want to put another piece of something in there. So I want it movable enough that I can put it in here and that it's not going to take up a bunch of space. So I'm going to use this. Okay, so I'm going to take my measure. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller than this. So I'm going to make it 6 1/4, and then by 4. 6 1/4 by 4. Gosh, I have to just find my stuff again. It's weird. So there's 6 1/4. Line it up, and by 4. And then do one more. This might actually even work. Nope. Wait. 6 1/4 by 4. Alright. Well, there's my 2. And I'm going to go ahead and get this put in there. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use white glue, white tacky glue, around the inside and outside of it. Just kind of swirl it around. Get that going. I'm going to do my other one for the back side. Oh, so I'll put this in the back side, and then I'll put paper over it. That's what I'll do. So I'll get that extra body fullness to it, and it'll just be covered up with paper, so it won't be any big deal. Okay, so this will go in there right up to the corner, and I left that edge around so that this can actually secure closed. So let me see what I want to use. I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac again, but this one. Got all these bottles. I'm glad it's coming out fine. You know, sometimes this Fabri-Tac doesn't come out very well. It's slow. Okay, I've got that there. Nice amount. And now I'm going to goop up the rest of it and the edges. Nice. Okay, I am going to also put my little clips around on this as well, because I want it to stay, I want those edges to make sure that they're firmly closed. Just long enough to hold it. Love this color. Turned out so nice. And then finding this little box too, just great. I got this box. It's only $1. I don't remember where I got it. It's one of the places though that I stopped and shopped during my time away. So what I'm going to do while that is setting, I'm going to just kind of take this and cut it into a wave kind of feeling thing. So that's good. Now I'm going to go do the other side. Nice. So for the other side, I want to take my piece, put it right up there. But this I'll only glue the one side. Because I'm going to have paper on the other side and I need to cut the paper and get it positioned there. I don't know what paper I'm going to use. I didn't really have a paper pad. As I was making this, I just had the things that I bought like at the dollar store or Hobby Lobby. I did go to Hobby Lobby. They had one not too far from where my mom lives. She lives in a little tiny farming community though. It's small. No crafting stores there. There was a Dollar General though. That was fun. Okay. So now that I've got that down, I want to pick a piece of paper. This is a paper pad that I have, and I remembered it had kind of swirly and like here's a little fish on it. Not that I'm going to use that side, but I think it would go with, this paper would go with this book. I don't know if that one though. Oh, this might be fun. Coming out from there. So I want to pick up the colors a little bit of this critter. Make it look good with that. That's kind of fun. The blue. That's kind of good. Kind of good, that sounds funny. Alright, let's see. Got blue like that. And then I could put a more dominant things in the inside there. I could go more with yellow. I think I kind of like having brighter colors behind it. And then I could maybe add another blue. This one kind of catches more colors. I'm just going to do some like this. I think it's just fun. Let's go with that. So I'm going to try doing the, let's see. I want to go a little bit wider than that. And that was 6 1/4. So I could go all the way to the edge-ish, you know. So that would put me about 6 3/4. Let's see what we've got. 6 3/4. And then by, I don't need a lot. I only need enough to cover this space right here. So really that's only a few inches that I need. So I'll go 2 1/2. I'll go 3 inches to be safe. Okay, let's see what it looks like. Hi, Gracie. My dog just came down. She's a sweet thing. She's a little Yorkie and she's getting old. I missed her while I was gone. Okay, so now I'm going to get a little more Fabri-Tac, and I think I'm going to put it down with the Fabri-Tac rather than the white glue. Just give it a little bit more oomph in the hold since it needs to go over the file folder. Normally I would just use white glue, but on this edge I think it's best to use the Fabri-Tac. Just a little more oomph, a little more hold. Okay, there we go. in a little more, I think. Okay. And then I'm just going to use the white glue for here. Both sides. Oh, my white glue's running a little low. So, a little squishing out. Gonna take these, put them on the edges again. Make sure it's nice and secure. These little things, it just helps out. You know, want to pay attention to those little details. Otherwise, it just comes back and bites you in the tushy. Okay, now that that's dry, I can remove all my clips. And then I have a nice little pocket here that I'll be able to tuck something in. So I'll just put that there as a little reminder for myself. And then as I thought about it, I think I want to use this lace. As you can see, I got that little piece there. I'm going to put a little band-aid on it, essentially. And then with this. And then I'll put the glue right there. So this will add just a little sweet bit of prettiness to it. So I'm going to add that to the edge. So when I came back home, we brought my mom's little tiny 4-pound Chihuahua with us. So now that dog's down here visiting me in my little creative space. Okay, this one's working better. So I'm going to put a stream of that there, and then some right there that I want it to secure to. And then place this along the edge. I just want enough so that it's going to stick over the top. Now, if the dog's out, though, that means my mom's up. I think I need to go and then come back. One more piece of glue. I've got all these bottles and nothing's coming out, you know. What's up with that? Okay. I'm going to let that dry and then I'll be right back. Okay. Now that we've got that secured down, I'm going to trim. So I don't want to place glue all over it. I think I'm going to place it just now along this edge. And then I'll secure that to the book. And a little more glue there where it was coming apart slightly. Nice! But what I want to do is take a look on the inside now and see what other things I want to finish up. Oh, that's pretty, huh? Okay, so I can put something here like a pocket. And I actually, since I'm using this paper, I can do something with this paper. That might be nice. Oh, the green's nice too. So I'm going to kind of flip through it and see if there's anything I want to do on these pages. Okay, I need to do something on these, add a little bit more interest. So what I'm going to do first is take my word stamp, my trusty word stamp, but rather than use my vintage ink, I'm going to do a little bit with this, let's see, this is peacock feathers. So it just adds a little more blue coming in. There was enough to catch on both of them. But then I am going to distress it with my Tim Holtz Distress ink. Just because it gives it a little more depth, a little more, you know, gives it a little more. So that gives it more personality. Personality, that's what I'm looking for. Well, it does a lot. This little ink stuff does a lot. It's so simple, but yet so good. Just do a little bit of smooshing around in there. So now I have a little personality. And if you see these two cards, I actually chose to put them in at 2 different sizes. See how that you can see the distance right there? I just thought it added, I don't know, just a little bit of interest, creating the different sizes. So I can also put some little things along these. I'm going to shorten them a tad. How about hearts? You can never go wrong with hearts. And should I do something so bold? Something like this might be good. So I'm just gonna, this is a Tim Holtz heart punch. Just sweet and simple. And I want 4 of them. 1 for each side. And I'm just going to use my white glue on that. Just something to hold it together. So there's that one. And that one. Oh, that's sweet, huh? Gotta find where the other heart went to. I'm missing a heart. Well, I just punched 4 and I know it, but 1 seems to be missing. So, I'm punching another. There we go. So I'm going to glue this one up, put it down. Okay, I may have gone a little glue crazy there. I'm going to have to rub it on my body. So it. Most people probably have a towel there. I should have a towel. I'm going to get me a towel. Alright, there's that. So I think I also want just a little smidgen, just a little smudge of a peachy color going on over there. And so I have some of these little Tim Holtz ones. And I'm gonna, well, I think that's not the color I want. I need a little more peachy pinky. That one turned out to be too much like, that one was tea dyed, and it looks too much like Tim Holtz's the vintage photo. How about, I'm just gonna, it's not the right color, but I'm just gonna try it. This is a worn lipstick. Yeah. A little bit too strong. My bad. But look at what that does. Gosh, I love this ink. Okay, I'm more happy with that. Just brings a little bit of that color into the card area so it draws your eye in there a little bit more. Okay. Let's move on and see. So now that I did that there, I do want to do that just a touch on this card as well. Just bring a little of the coloring in. So this was a paper that I actually dyed with my mom's peaches from her peach tree. Okay, that's all fine. I might, on this edge, do a little bit of distressing. Gives a little bit more personality, and also just a touch on here. Not too much, but just a touch. Personality. Okay. And then we got here. This would actually look nice with some sparkles. I think I'll go back later on and add like a glitter glue there so that like the waves will be sparkling. Otherwise, it's, I don't know, it just seems like it needs a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of distress along this, give it a little more definition basically. And same with this piece here. Give it definition and personality. Okay. So this one here, I have the pocket side actually open, I can glue it down if I want, but I think I might just leave it open like that. And then like that. So I don't want to do too much or too dark distressing because it is an underwater thing. I wanted it, you know, for the blues to just really be standing out. But I must admit that the distressing the edges does really add some funness to it, and just makes it look, you know, a little more detailed. So these little dots here too that I stamped on, I'm going to go back with a glitter pen. So I'm going to fuss that up. So this is like this. So when this turns, I think I want to put a little piece of something right there. That was just, I used just an index card there. But I don't like the look of an index card being there. This can be kind of like seaweed. Has a little bit better feel to it. So I'm going to put that down there. Oh, I hear my dog barking upstairs. Something's going on. So that's kind of plain. I'm going to add just a bit of the pink in it. There we go. And there you go. So I'm almost done. Now I need to finish the front and get it in my book. That'll be next. So I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.